In our next story, renowned Nigerian author Chimamanda Adichie has candidly shared her personal journey to motherhood through surrogacy, offering a rare glimpse into her private life. Now, speaking at the debut live location of the #WithChude talk show, the 47-year-old literary icon revealed that she chose surrogacy as a path to parenthood and initially felt uneasy about disclosing such intimate details, but said she hopes that her openness will ease the societal pressure that many women face when it comes to having children. Her story, of course, adds a powerful voice to the conversations we have about reproductive choices, privacy, and the ever-evolving definitions of what we call family. Let's take a look at this video.
We'll see that a woman can do whatever she wants with her body, right? So there's a contradiction there. So I think that was what all the noise was about. And my boys are so precious to me. And I hated that anything about them would become politicized. So on the one hand, I thought, I wish I hadn't said that. But then on the other, I thought, there's no way I'm going to lie and claim that I had babies that I did not birth myself. Yeah. You know, it's just, I just think it's wrong. And I think, I'm hoping that if anything good comes from this, it's that more women will feel, less ashamed of talking about reaching motherhood through, non-traditional means, right? Yeah. I think that there are many women who also have babies born by surrogates, but they sort of go and hide for 9 months, and then or people who adopt babies and they go and hide because our society is so judgmental. Yes. And I just don't, I don't think that's good for anybody. Right. Yes. So yes, but
I really appreciate the fact that she was very open. I think as a society, it's high time that we begin to reconceptualize what we see as family, because there's so many sorts of non-traditional methods of parenting and motherhood and family units, and we need to include and represent all of those. So it's great to hear that she's speaking about it, especially in the context of the African community that can sometimes be very linear. Let's take a look at social media. Peters E says, "She can fool you all, but certainly cannot fool some of us. She preaches feminism, then birthed a girl. As if that was not blessing enough, she allegedly succumbed to her husband's will for a meal." Please, next tweet. I'm tired. I'm tired of his opinion. Next tweet, thank you. Ogochukwu says, "She's always very graceful. When a woman comes out to speak about her body and her experiences, I don't think it's a place of people like that to come down on her so heavily." But in our final story, in Hollywood, veteran actor Robert De Niro has voiced unwavering love and support for his daughter, Erin, after she publicly came out as transgender. Erin, 29, whom De Niro shares with his former partner, Tookie Smith, recently opened up about her transition in a candid interview. She began her hormone replacement therapy in November 2024 after grappling with years of identity crises. Now, although she came out as a gay man in high school and was embraced by her family, she revealed that she continued to struggle until she could fully live in her truth of being a woman on the inside. Now, when Robert De Niro was asked about his daughter's transition in public, he said, "I love and support her with all my heart, and I will support her as my son or my daughter. I don't know what the big deal is. I love all my kids." African, and I don't know if an African father would be so open. We're going to take one tweet on this. You can see before and after. Emmanuel says, anyway, I'm going to move on to my team now. Technology A. We are seeing these non-traditional methods of family. Robert De Niro accepting his transgender son. We're seeing Chimamanda, have a child through surrogacy. The family unit is changing, and parents are grappling with these sorts of changes of the younger generation.
Yes, Chimamanda is a brave woman, taking into consideration the society that she comes from and how people react to things like that. She came out boldly and said, I have these kids through surrogacy. The important thing is that she loves them and she's going to give them a good life. She's going to raise them with everything that she has as a woman and a mother. That's the important thing for me. There are quite a number of people I know who would want to say, look, you're saying this because you're on TV. No, I'm not saying this because I'm on TV. I'm saying it because that's what I believe. Robert De Niro, I love my child as my son and my daughter. I think that caps it all up.
For me, I love Chimamanda, and I feel like I'm so happy that she was bold enough to come out and say it. She's not the only person that has done surrogacy. We've also seen Iniedo come out and share her story. I know the funny thing is that Olamide, as we women, you know, people often try to criticize us for so many things. A lot of women cannot even give birth because of various reasons that we do not even know about.
Absolutely.
So I feel like we need to take it easy on women. Chimamanda is a brave woman, and being a feminist doesn't mean that you're not going to have children. The person that wrote that tweet, I don't understand what you're saying, and thank God you didn't even finish reading it because it wasn't even making any sense. But moving on, we talk. If God has made you a man, why do you change to a woman? Now, on Judgment Day, where is he going to go? Like, God will say, this is not you. So I do not agree with people changing themselves. I don't know, maybe because I'm African, I don't agree. Uncle Sam, do you agree with a woman changing to be a man or a man changing to be a woman?
Well, the Bible says God made them male and female. So it's very interesting because we are discussing Chimamanda. Chimamanda got a lot of flack for her position on this.
Absolutely.
In the West, when she said that there's a man and there's a woman, and you cannot be both. But we are living in a world where there is a lot of
chaos,
distress. Is it the same Bible that says distress of nations and perplexities? You know, so we're in a situation where it is difficult to define what reality is, and this is part of the strains of being modern. Well, on the case of Chimamanda's child, I think I read this thing a few days ago, and I said, well, kudos to her. It is what I would call the audacity of motherhood, and also the new frontiers of technology. So she has been able to combine those, and it's interesting that she's also a literary artist who understands the capacity to extend the imagination. And it's interesting she has 2 boys, and I hope that her next novel she will write better about men, because her last novel, all the men were bad. So we are now, the book is called Dream Count, and now we don't want to count the dreams. The men should stop counting their dreams now. I think what will happen now is that the men should start fulfilling their dreams. Because in a dream count, all the men were bad. I was looking for one good man, all of them were bad.
All of them were bad. Yeah, that's right. so I'll talk about the transgender, family, because it looks like the father is confused and the son is also confused. Because one thing is, as you said, I agree with everyone who said that God created man and woman. That's something that is very clearly established biologically or anything. And when you feel differently in yourself, maybe, I believe it's just mental problem, because I'd seen stories of people getting married to their dogs, some getting married to trees. Another one said she's going to get married to herself. And afterwards, she went back to court and asked the court to separate her from herself because boredom was going to kill her. So
none of these things involve the human body.
You said what?
None of these things are sentient beings.
But the thing is, I see it as none other thing than mental problems. So I wouldn't say the person needs. Yeah, that's my opinion. That's their opinion, and thankfully we see a Republican president who has come in and said that I'm not going to recognize any other gender other than male and female, and that male athletes will not be participating in that of the feminine and all of that. So it is very, very clear. So those who are...
The British have also come up with that. English law, courts.
Yes.
Have also defined it man and woman.
Exactly.
My men and women, I have one more story I've got to take.
Yeah, okay, all right. Just